Hey, what's up? It's Laura Hansen. I'm a certified high performance coach at this stage in my life, but I used to be a police officer. I served in the city of Virginia Beach for about 8 years, and I did about 3 years on patrol, working midnights, working day shift, and I also worked down at our busy oceanfront area, riding bicycles. And I was always a really hard charger on patrol. I loved taking people to jail. I loved writing tickets. I loved responding to any and all types of calls for service because it was exciting for me to get involved, to be part of the action, to be part of other people's lives, either supporting my coworkers or in being able to meet other human beings and what they were going through and what they were experiencing in their life. Sometimes it was really awesome things like, hey, we're down here for a wrestling tournament. And I'm like, that's awesome. What's going on with that? How's your kid doing? And other times it was meeting people on, days when their car just got wrecked or when they were completely hammered and needed to take a little time out in life. But either way, to me, the job was awesome. And I took on as much as I could because I was so into it. And the problem is I ended up burning myself out because nobody in the job ever pumped the brakes for me. People saw that I worked hard, and so they gave me more responsibilities, or they rewarded me, and I sensed that acknowledgement through what I was doing. And so it encouraged me to do more. And when I'm saying this, I'm not saying it was the job's responsibility to slow me down. It's just that I didn't really assume responsibility for doing that myself. And so I just went along with it. After being on patrol, I transferred over to the SWAT team. And when I already wasn't off duty much on patrol, I really wasn't off duty ever on SWAT because I was always on call. At any moment of the day or night, I could have been called in, and I was called in, to go execute search warrants or go handle a barricade. And on top of that, I decided to voluntarily take on a collateral duty of being a public affairs officer. So at least 1 week a month, I was answering calls and putting out press releases for the media about fatal accidents or violent crimes that were happening all over the city. And I remember, one 4th of July when I wasn't working and I was with my family, and I had to just repetitively take, I think it was 3 or 4 calls for shootings that kept happening. And my entire day off, my night was completely ruined because I was working the entire time. And I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know how to schedule in the time to just be me, right? So it wasn't that the job didn't allow me to have breaks. It's that I didn't allow myself to have breaks. So listen, I became a coach, a certified high performance coach, because I want to work with you on how you can still be a hard charger at work. You can still be a police officer who does more than sit in a parking lot. You can be proactive. You can take on collateral duties. You can go to specialty units that require you to be on call out, and you can still take care of yourself and do it way better than I did back then before I had the tools, the resources, and the skill set to ensure I was taking care of myself along the way. Because what I've learned is that if you're not intentional about taking care of yourself, then you're simply testing your resilience. And everyone has a breaking point. Everyone has the point when they just can't handle it anymore. And that's not a good place to be, right? Because that's when people decide, like I did, to up and leave with 2 weeks notice. That's when people get, reliant on other different coping mechanisms, or start to question what they're doing in their life because they look around and they notice, I don't like the way things look right now. So through coaching, I can help you with your productivity so that you are doing things that are important and that matter to you which sometimes is specifically job related. Like you might be like, I want to go be more productive in getting DUI arrests or drug arrests or firearms, whatever it may be. It may be a specific niche within the job. It may simply be, hey, I want to make sure that I'm getting all the things done that I want to in my life, meaning I want to make sure I'm getting time to work out, also spending time with my significant other or my kids. And I still want to be proactive. I still want these opportunities to work hard and have that purposeful sense about my job, because I'm not somebody who's completely disengaged, right? Like most police officers really love their job, and I admire that. Another part that I work with officers with is their overall energy, because there's so much overwhelm and exhaustion and fatigue that comes from just the nature of the job of going to handle people's nonsense just day in and day out, whether you're investigating crimes and having to deal with things that have happened and you're like, wow, people kind of suck, or you're face to face with people and having to take on that energy of the yelling and the hatred and the just hard environment, right? Maybe you're a supervisor and your employees don't want to work, and it's frustrating because you're like, come on, your job will be so much better, but you don't know how to influence them. I help with all of that, and I make it clear to you how to move forward through all of that so that you can still feel good about your job. Because listen, you deserve to feel good in life while also you deserve to feel good in life while also having a full career in law enforcement. And even if you are, let's say, 17 years into the job already, you can still rearrange things and shift things up to make the next 3 years, the next 8 years, the next 13 years of your life awesome in the job. You don't have to be in a spot where you're counting down until your retirement, and you don't need to be burned out so early in your career that you're like, ooh, I should leave now before I'm too invested, right? So listen, if this sounds like you, that you love doing your job and you want to ensure that you maintain your sanity, you maintain your feeling good about life, you don't want to end up disgruntled and angry about everything in the world, and you also want to feel a sense of control over your life at work and your life at home, then I want you to apply to work with me. You can get more information on that on my website, which is lauraghanson.com. That's Hanson. Check out the website. That's where people go to apply. And if you are somebody who is curious to find new ways, you're open-minded, and you're willing to find options in your life, meaning you don't look at a problem and say there's only one way to solve it and that's the only thing for me. You know, you got to have, in order to be coachable, you've got to be willing to explore new ideas and try new things that you haven't done yet. And better yet, you want to make sure that you're trying to do things a little bit differently than the officers who have spent their entire career and ended up disgruntled, ended up in poor health or in divorce, whatever, right? And I'm not putting down any of those people. I'm just saying that's a natural byproduct of the job when you do nothing, when you go in without a game plan. Because you notice your academy, your department is going to train you on how to be a better cop, on how to do things legally within the Constitution, how to do things better for your own judicial system. But they're not really teaching you about how to live the life of a cop and come out of retirement or come out of the career, not come out of retirement, go into retirement or whatever point you decide to leave the career and still feel good about life without thinking, man, that just ruined life for me, right? That is not the way that God intended policing to be for you. You are an honorable badass, my friend, for doing this job, for doing the job that so many other people can't do and also are unwilling to do. And you deserve to still have a good life experience, because this is your one shot, right? This is the one life that you get. And I'm telling you, there is a way for you to live a good life despite all the things that you come across in the world of policing. So go over to my website. Again, that's lauraghanson.com. Fill out an application, and let's see how we can jump on a call together to work together to raise your levels of clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence at work, so that you go the entire duration of your career, or at least from this point forward, no matter how many years on you already have, and you finish this thing strong, and you leave this job better than you left it, and you lead the people in your life from a place of strength.